Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Aaron. Do you own any cryptocurrency? Is it just sitting around not earning any money? Well, in today's video, we're going to be talking about crypto interest accounts. We'll be talking about what they are. Is it a scam? Or can this turn your crypto into a passive income money-making machine? As always, if you enjoy the content, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get right into it. Okay, so getting right into it, there are many different companies which offer these crypto interest accounts, but in today's video, we're going to be focusing on BlockFi because BlockFi is one of the most popular. So to get right into it, we have to first talk about how these crypto interest accounts actually work. And they honestly work very similar to how traditional banking systems work. So with the traditional bank, a bank is able to pay you interest on your deposits because they take those deposits and then they loan them out to borrowers at a higher interest rate. So this is what's called the spread. The spread is the difference between what the bank loans out your deposits and what they pay you, that interest for those deposits. So let's say maybe a bank pays you 1% for the money you deposit in your savings account. They'll then take that money and loan it out at, let's say, 4%, and then the difference between those two amounts is the profit, it's the spread, and that's how the bank makes money. So in the world of cryptocurrency, something very similar is happening. So if I open a crypto interest account and I deposit, let's say, 1 Bitcoin into that interest account, BlockFi, let's say if that's the crypto account I'm using, BlockFi will then take that 1 Bitcoin and loan it out to what they say are trusted institutional and corporate borrowers. Those borrowers then, borrow the Bitcoin, use it for whatever they want, and they get charged an interest rate from BlockFi. So maybe BlockFi charges their borrowers, let's say 13%, which then allows them to pay me, let's say 5 or 6% on my crypto deposits. Okay, but besides understanding the actual mechanisms behind these crypto interest accounts actually work, it's important to understand the risks and the rewards because they're not the same as your traditional, Citibank or Bank of America savings account. They're very different. Okay, so first off, in terms of the rewards for opening up these crypto interest accounts, the potential upside is actually pretty strong. You have to remember, with the crypto space, one of the major downsides and one of the major critiques by many individuals is that by owning cryptocurrencies, you're owning an unproductive asset. So let's take Bitcoin, for instance. People like to say Bitcoin is an unproductive asset because Bitcoin, well, it doesn't produce anything. It's not like, a business where you could buy the stock of the business and as a result, the cash flows from that business pay you dividends in the form of dividend payments. Bitcoin isn't like that. When you buy Bitcoin, you're simply buying it for the price appreciation that you believe will happen in the future. However, if you take your Bitcoin and move it into an interest-paying account, well, that Bitcoin actually now becomes a productive asset because the interest account allows you to be paid interest payments by tying up your Bitcoin in that account. So even if theoretically Bitcoin trades sideways for a year, if your Bitcoin is earning you interest, you're actually going to still be making money during that period. And we have to remember, let's say I deposit, 1 Bitcoin into a crypto interest account, and let's say over the course of a year, I get paid back interest, and at the end of the year, I receive 0.01 Bitcoin in the form of interest off of my initial 1 Bitcoin investment. Then let's say in the following year, the value of Bitcoin ends up rising 50%. Now this is great because not only will my initial 1 Bitcoin end up rising 50% in value, but the interest I received will also end up rising in value. So there's an argument to be made that the crypto interest you're earning now can actually be worth more in the future when the value of their cryptocurrency also ends up rising. And also it's worth pointing out, with these crypto interest accounts, most of them, including BlockFi, allow you to withdraw your money whenever you want. Now this is great because with, again, traditional banking systems, if you want to earn more interest on your deposits, you'll have to open what's called the CD account. And with these certificates of deposit, what you have to do to earn, let's say 2-3%, these higher interest rates, you have to tie your money up and have your money in these accounts for longer periods of time, sometimes 6 months up to several years in order to get these higher amounts. But again, with these crypto interest accounts, you can receive, 5-6% on your crypto and then have the ability and the flexibility to withdraw that money at any time. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get the higher interest rate and you get the flexibility to be able to pull that money out at any time. Okay, now this all sounds good, but there are some risks we have to talk about. So the main risk we're going to talk about is a complete collapse of all these different exchanges, leaving you unable to get your money back. Now it's worth pointing out, when you put your money into these crypto interest accounts, these accounts aren't FDIC or SIPC insured. And all that means is that if these exchanges end up going under or going bankrupt, or there's a major collapse in the entire system, the government, there's no regulating government body which will then guarantee you and pay you back money because your money's not insured. Now, obviously, BlockFi and various other platforms have different structures and systems in place so this doesn't happen. The main one is that they require over-collateralized loans from their institutional borrowers. So for simplicity's sake, let's say a hedge fund wants to borrow $100 worth of Bitcoin. Before that hedge fund or that institution can borrow $100 in Bitcoin, they have to first deposit and post $150 worth of collateral. So that works out to 150% of collateral, and that's an over-collateralized loan. Now in this example, you can see this over-collateralized loan comes into play when there's a dramatic crash in the price of Bitcoin. So let's say the price of Bitcoin completely tanks. Because the loan is over-collateralized by $50, there's this buffer zone where BlockFi can then tell the institution to post more collateral before they actually dip under my initially borrowed amount, so there's no risk of me losing my deposit. In other words, because the loan is over-collateralized, if the market drops dramatically, my initial deposit, which was lent out to these institutions, will still remain safe. However, the real fear here is what happens if these particular cryptos end up crashing faster than these institutions are able to post new collateral. Remember, this is the crypto space. Crypto and cryptocurrencies have been known to crash, 50% in a single day at their worst. Now, BlockFi has come out and said that they're able to quickly liquidate positions from their borrowers if those borrowers aren't able to post new collateral. So in theory, this means that as a depositor, your money's safe because if the market falls too quickly, too fast, well, then BlockFi can just sell out of all the positions from their borrowers and your money's safe. However, this does bring up two main issues. Main issue number one, what happens if the market falls faster than even BlockFi can close out the positions of their clients? And this is a real fear. In a true flash crash, the market actually may fall faster than even BlockFi systems are able to close out trades. So in that case, you may actually run the risk of the market still falling under that initial borrowed amount, and as a depositor, you may be losing your deposit. And number two, and this might get a little confusing, if you have BlockFi automatically closing out of positions from their institutional borrowers, well, them closing out of those positions actually further adds to the selling pressure that already would be existing in some kind of crypto flash crash. So then you have even more selling pressure because of BlockFi automatically closing accounts, which would just further add to all the selling pressure, further exacerbating the problem and causing the prices of these coins to fall even more. Now, while this is still rather unlikely, it's definitely a possibility that we have to consider. But what are my final thoughts? What are the bottom lines should you yourself open one of these interest crypto accounts? Now, in my personal opinion, when it comes to these accounts, the risk of a complete total market meltdown where you lose all of your crypto deposits, it's pretty unlikely. Like I said, there are a lot of safeguards, a lot of systems that these exchanges have in place in order to prevent that from happening, but it's still not impossible. So as a result, I would recommend keeping some of your crypto on the side, maybe on an exchange, maybe even better in cold storage or on a wallet, somewhere it's separate and relatively safe, and then keep another portion of that crypto in one of these interest accounts earning you money. And this is a great happy medium because on one hand, you'll have some of your crypto earning you interest in one of these interest accounts, and then on the other hand, you'll have some of your crypto that you know is completely safe, completely secure, stored separately in a hard wallet. And in both cases, you can have peace of mind knowing that you're making money, but you also have some of your money completely safe. So in any case, thank you for sticking through today's video. Please go and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Yeah.